Jungkook didn't just release new photos, he detonated the internet. In his latest Rolling Stone x Calvin Klein feature, Jungkook delivered a level of detail, intensity, and visual command that left fans genuinely speechless and in many cases breathless. Within minutes of the images going live, timelines froze, comment sections flooded, and one reaction echoed louder than the rest. How is this even real? This wasn't just another fashion spread, it was a statement. From the first frame, Jungkook's presence is undeniable. Every detail, the styling, the lighting, the posture, the gaze, works together to create something far beyond a brand collaboration. The photos capture a Jungkook who is confident, grounded, and fully aware of the power he holds without ever appearing forced or performative. Fans immediately pointed out how intentional everything felt. The way fabric sits against his body, the sharp contrast between softness and strength, the quiet tension in his expression. These aren't accidental moments, they're carefully crafted, and Jungkook carries them with an ease that only comes from deep self-assurance. What makes this feature particularly striking is its restraint. There's no excess, no distraction. The minimalism of Calvin Klein's aesthetic strips everything down to the essentials: form, texture, presence. And in that stripped-back environment, Jungkook doesn't disappear, he dominates. Rolling Stone's lens captures him not just as a global pop star, but as a cultural figure, stepping confidently into a more mature, defined era. His physique is sculpted, yes, but it's the control that draws attention, the stillness, the precision, the way he commands space without movement. Fans describe the images as dangerous, illegal, and unreal, but beneath the humor was genuine awe. Many noted that Jungkook has reached a point where he no longer feels like someone growing into himself. He has arrived. This photo shoot also marks a significant moment in Jungkook's evolving image. For years, he's been known as the golden maknae, talented, hard-working, endlessly charming. But these images show a Jungkook who has shed the need to prove anything. He doesn't smile for approval. He doesn't perform youth. Instead, he leans into maturity with quiet confidence. That evolution didn't go unnoticed. Fans praised the way the shoot balances sensuality with artistry, never crossing into excess. Jungkook's expressions are calm, controlled, almost introspective, a stark contrast to the explosive reactions they triggered online. It's this contrast that makes the feature so powerful. The collaboration with Calvin Klein feels especially fitting. The brand is known for highlighting individuality, body confidence, and understated intensity, values Jungkook embodies naturally. Rather than wearing the brand, he becomes part of its visual language. The result feels seamless, as if this partnership was inevitable. Rolling Stone's involvement elevates the moment even further. As a publication deeply rooted in music history and cultural commentary, Rolling Stone doesn't simply photograph artists, it frames them within larger narratives. In this case, the narrative is clear. Jungkook is not just participating in global fashion culture, he's shaping it.
Hey Army! Quick pause before we keep going. If you're loving these BTS updates, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and join our family of global fans. That way, you'll never miss a single record-breaking moment. All right, let's jump back into the story.
The response across social media was immediate and overwhelming. Fans shared close-ups, slowed clips, zoomed-in details, every inch of the photos examined with reverence. Tattoos, muscle definition, jawline angles, eye contact, nothing escaped attention. But what stood out most in fan discussions was not just how Jungkook looked, but how present he felt. There's a sense of ownership in these images. Jungkook isn't being styled into a concept, he is the concept.
This sense of control reflects a larger shift happening in his career. After completing military service and reuniting with BTS, Jungkook has returned with a sharpened sense of identity. He no longer needs loud statements or dramatic gestures. His confidence speaks quietly, and that quiet confidence hits harder than ever. Industry watchers have already begun calling this one of Jungkook's most impactful visual moments to date. Not because it's shocking, but because it's precise. Every pose feels deliberate. Every shadow feels intentional. Every frame feels like a declaration of self-awareness. This isn't about being provocative, it's about presence. For fans, the timing of this release feels especially significant. As BTS prepare for their full group comeback in 2026, each member's individual growth is becoming more visible. Jungkook's Rolling Stone x Calvin Klein feature stands as proof that the group's return won't be defined by nostalgia, but by evolution. Jungkook isn't returning as who he was, he's returning as who he has become. The photos also sparked broader conversations about representation and global influence. A Korean artist leading a major Western fashion and media collaboration, not as a novelty, but as a standard, reflects how far boundaries have shifted. Jungkook isn't crossing into global culture anymore. He's embedded in it. And perhaps the most striking part of this entire moment is how effortless it feels. There's no sense of strain, no overcompensation, just a man standing confidently in his own skin, fully comfortable with the image he's presenting to the world. That ease is what left fans breathless. Not shock, not surprise, but recognition. Recognition that Jungkook has reached a point where everything aligns. Artistry, identity, influence, where visuals are no longer separate from meaning, and presence is no longer separate from power. As reactions continue to pour in, one thing is undeniable. This feature will be remembered, not as a fleeting viral moment, but as a defining snapshot of Jungkook in his prime. So if you caught yourself staring a little too long at these photos, you're not alone. Go back, look again. Notice the details you missed the first time, because moments like this aren't meant to be rushed, they're meant to be revisited. And trust this, Jungkook isn't done leaving us speechless.